Fence Academy, and we are here at South Denver Fencing Academy with Jeffery Miller. Jeff, thank you so much for hosting us. So tell us please a little bit about yourself.
How did you get involved in fencing?
So I've been fencing for 26 years now. When I was 7, my fencing team broke up, or my soccer team broke up, and I did a tour of sports, so to speak. I went to a whole bunch of practices, swimming, a bunch of the martial arts, other team sports, and there was an after-school class for fencing. I took the after-school class, and the instructor gave us all brochures for a camp, and that summer I went to the camp and started fencing, and I've been doing it ever since.
Nice. And so you mentioned earlier too, there's another owner here as well, another coach.
Yeah.
Who are they?
His name is Matt Jordan.
Okay.
He's been fencing longer than me by probably about 10 years, I think. So yeah, he was probably started in the 90s, fencing for 35-ish years. He's an épée fencer by trade and competed at the national level in the U.S. for his entire childhood growing up, and then he's trained a few of us who've gone on to train and fence at the international level for a couple different countries.
Nice. So when you went to this after-school program, what weapon was it, and is it the same weapon you do now yourself?
I don't remember. I can tell you it wasn't saber. It was probably foil, but the club at the time, they fenced épée and foil as well. And I don't remember what that intro class was in, whether it was épée or foil.
Okay. And I'm assuming you do, which one of those do you do today?
I fence both épée and foil at the Division I level in the U.S. I'm on the cusp of traveling internationally, hopefully in épée. I'm usually right around the go or no-go mark, kind of in the 30s to 50s, give or take. If a few people don't go, I might get to.
I get it. Nice. Okay. And here, do you guys do all 3 weapons, or is it foil and épée, or foil épée only, or?
Yeah, we just fence foil and épée. We start all of our fencers with foil. They fence foil solely for about a year to a year and a half, depending on their age and how they're progressing. Then they'll fence both weapons for the majority of their career with us. It gives them more competitive opportunities, and it's also it's a version of the system that Colorado has used at a lot of the clubs that have been really productive out of Colorado in a very long time. So you'll fence the 2 weapons for a while. When it gets to the point where you're either good enough in one weapon where we kind of say, okay, you need to focus, or you get to the point where there's financial restrictions. Like obviously traveling internationally in 2 weapons is incredibly difficult logistically, financially, all the rest. So then a fencer might drop one of the weapons. But the majority of our fencers do fence multiple weapons.
Okay. And when did you guys, I guess, first open the club?
The club was opened when I was 12. My parents and Matt opened the club. We were all at a different club in Colorado that kind of broke up around that time. And but at the time I was fencing quite well. I was pretty high in Youth 10 and Youth 12 at the time, and my parents decided to take a risk on it. Okay, we wanted to keep fencing, so we're gonna open a club. And Matt had wanted to be a coach, and it's kind of gone from there.
Nice.
21 years later, we're sitting here.
Nice.
Heading to the club.
Yeah, a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So your parents, are your parents also fencers, or not really?
No, I was the first fencer in the family. My dad fenced for a bit. My mom fenced a little bit, but not quite as much. My dad had a nerve injury in his hand, and switching hands and all this stuff. Yeah.
So I'm assuming this is not the first club's location.
This is the second.
Okay.
So we were in our first location for 20 years. We moved September 1st of 2025. We spent about a year picking this location. It was kind of just a number of things worked out at the same time. So our lease was up at the old building. We needed a little more square footage, and it was time. And I've had 20 years to plan how I would build the fencing. And we opened when I was 12. I didn't have much say. So now so I got to basically design the building from top to bottom and design our space.
Nice.
Beautiful location and very beautiful club itself. later we'll show in the video.
Yeah.
So how many strips you have? One.
We have 6 strips. All of them are grounded. We've done them at basically what can be competition distances from each other. With the boxes mounted on the ceiling, we can do the strips a little bit closer together on the back-to-back strips. So they're all refable for competition. We've had events here where all 6 strips are running. We do kind of a Euro format for the competition, so we make sure all the spectators and everyone not fencing is kind of on the spectator side of the room, and everyone who's actively fencing at the time can be on the fencing floor, so it ends up with a very clean space.
I see you have the reels. Have you thought about doing the pulley systems?
We are not going to touch the pulley systems.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had them before. We had them at the club I started at. No, there's no way.
Okay.
We're not going back.
Okay.
Yeah, we've always had the reels. That's just the way it is.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, what else to say is so you do Float Up, is that going to be that way forever? Have you thought about adding Saber at some point or anything like that?
To add Saber, we need to add a coach. And to do that, we'd also need to add class times for it, so we're probably never going to add Saber.
Yeah.
How many coaches do you have right now?
So we have the 2 main coaches, Matt and I are the 2 main coaches at the club. And then we have a host of kind of assistant coaches. I think we have 3 or 4, depending on the time. The assistant coaches are all part-time. Matt is full-time, I'm part-time, and the assistant coaches are part-time.
And those assistant coaches, are those people that you've kind of built yourself? Did they come in from somewhere else? How did you?
For the most part, we built them. One of them is a fencer who was in our original intro class back in the day. We have a student who announced to us at age 7.5 that he was going to buy the club from us eventually, and he's stuck to it. I mean, we laugh, but he's stuck with it. He's already got his college planned out so that he can figure out how to run a business, and
He probably inspired from you because you inherited your business, but he probably will, from small grow have a business.
Yeah, hopefully.
We also have a student a couple students who decided they want to in the future to do a fencing.
I've seen that in a lot of places. I think it's kind of normal or whatever, but I've seen that at multiple clubs where there's been fencers came in young, got inspired by whatever, and I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it many times. So anyway, okay, cool. So you built most of them. It sounds like, right?
Yeah, we do have one of our main assistant coaches is out of Georgia. He was out of Dunwoody fencing originally.
State of Georgia?
Yeah, the state. Yeah, so he moved up here probably a decade ago at that point. It was an A/B rated fencer at the time. And he just started coaching FA for us and still does.
Nice.
Overall, how hard to find a coach if you don't build them in Colorado?
I haven't really tried, but it's like I know that there are some former fencers around in Colorado, but we don't have. We certainly don't have a population of like former Olympians living in Colorado who still would like to coach fencing. A lot of the Colorado fencers, for the most part, fence through college and that's it. Or they'll fence like for a little bit afterwards. We don't have a lot of kind of lifelong fencers. And
yeah, that's a nationwide issue.
Yeah.
So it's like you go into fencing, you get to the university, and then you go to work. Which is, you did what you came to do. So I've seen that. That's the same where we live. The same everywhere. I've talked to a lot of people. So yeah.
How many students do you have right now?
We usually run somewhere around 100 to 110. We're trying to increase that number.
And most of them recreational, or do they do it for professional level?
Our entire program is based around competing, so most of them will compete at some point. Whether or not, we have a few who kind of get toward the top end of our program who don't compete, but really not many, probably 5-10% at most. But we do, getting fencers to stay consistent on the national circuit has always been a challenge. So we're not, I mean, obviously we're not sending the teams that some of the big clubs like out of Texas and out of California are sending like 30, 40 kids to the national every single MAC. So it's somewhere in between, but we have great participation at the local and regional level within the state. All of our regionals, we're in Region 4, which includes California. So the majority of our regionals are unfortunately all the way on the West Coast. So a lot of our kids don't want to be flying every third weekend to go to these regionals. But if you're fencing locally here, yeah, you're gonna see a lot.
Have you guys thought about putting in bids for regionals yourselves, that way they're on this side too?
We haven't for a while. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yes, we are.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
In our region, so we're in 5, right? We have Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and so they're all in Texas.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we just got back from one in Louisiana. It's been there for like 30-something years.
The
Called the Crescent.
Crescent.
Yeah, we just got back, and that one's kind of like a fun kind of, like tourist thing. And then I know there's going to be one in El Paso for the first time, I think ever.
Okay.
Which is, that's doing it. And poor Oklahoma, so.
You gotta get, I think Seth Kelsey's working with the club out of OKC.
Maybe, I have no idea,
Yeah, I don't know how big they are or have any other information on them. So in the past we hosted an SYC actually, called the Jerry Baumgart Memorial. Jerry was a referee, highly involved in the late 80s, 90s, 2000s. I believe she was an Olympic épée fencer back at the beginning of women's épée being included. Don't quote me on that, I might be wrong. But she died in 2012, I think, just before I went to college. And so we named that event after her, and we're trying our darndest to bring it back. We're working on locations and things right now.
Sure.
Maybe in the next year or two.
Sure. Are you think we're trying to host a regional here?
We're going to see. I don't think we quite meet some of their bid requirements. Like the food is like just a little bit too far away.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, if we can score more points than the other people bidding, we'll get them.
Park on food truck.
Yeah.
Like all today.
There's one that parks in the parking lot on the other side daily. It's a taco
Nice.
operation.
I know that in Texas there was one regional and they had like kind of a food court. It just was a boy selling some snacks. I don't know if it's allowed.
No, I mean, there's the fact that there's like McDonald's or Starbucks around, it all counts. So, but the other thing too is, I was going to ask you, so you're thinking about 100, 115 students. What is I'm going to assume you guys want to expand too. Do you have like a strict to student count ratio you're trying to keep per class size, or how are you like planning that out?
So we have 5 levels of foil and 2 right now of épée. It's supposed to be a 3-level épée, and that's ignoring the adults would be a 6th foil class.
What are these different? Yeah. So that's a good way to go. What are the different levels of foil and épée that you have, and how do you decide, which is which?
So we've got our level 1 is our intro class.
Okay.
At the moment, that's basically from 0 to you can participate in a fencing class.
Okay.
Level 2 for us and level 3.
Sorry, real quick. How long does that take?
We're looking at making it a 4-week class. Right now it's 6.
Is it like 1 day a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 1 day a week for 6 weeks at the moment.
Got it.
We're looking to make it 4. I think that 6 is a little long. So level 2 and 3 in foil, we only split by age. So we split it at age 12. We just found that if you had 8-year-olds and 16-year-olds, it was just a problem for everyone. We thought that 12 was a sweet spot, so if you turn 12, we kick you out of level 2. Each class has a checklist of actions that they learn in that class. So the fencers are limited to only learning those actions. They don't, we keep it that way by just not exposing them to anything else. So they get, like level 2, for example, they get parries 4, 6, and 8. And they're not going to get any of the other 8 parries. I don't need an 8-year-old who's brand new to fencing learning how to take a 1 parry. I don't think that's useful for them, and it's not a good use of the time that we have.
One question.
Yeah.
Have any of the kids figured out stuff they're not supposed to know yet?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
No, all the time.
Okay, so how do you handle that?
We just do a good job of kind of being like, okay, we'll teach you that down the road.
Yeah.
And they don't tend to have success with those actions. Like, it's hard enough learning fencing.
Sure.
When suddenly you try to do these actions that you're seeing these people do and you realize you can't do them, it's kind of like, okay, I've done a good job building that culture where they trust the system. I'm like, okay, if this is an action, great, but I don't need it now. And for the most part, it works until you get the young teens. But the young teens are usually up in the higher classes anyway, so they're getting the actions. So by the time they want to learn them, they're learning them, and they're not. So they're not usually trying to jump ahead.
Got it.
If you finish the checklist in any one of the levels, you get moved to the next one automatically.
Okay.
So we can have an 8-year-old in level 3 if they've already gone through all of level 2.
So let's because everyone has seen the scenario. You have the 8-year-old that has 3 years of experience, right? And then you have the 12-year-old that has like 6 months of experience.
Oh yeah.
Right? So you just leapfrog them ahead, basically, or?
The 12-year-old and the 8-year-old would be in the same class.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so level 3 is basically ages 12 to 18 with only the intro level of experience.
Okay.
So they're going from I can participate to, okay, I can actually kind of fence. And it's going from that level of like, yeah, I'm still struggling to get dressed. I can do a few basic actions, but I'm not very good at them. Up to pretty much like, okay, I can get dressed on my own, I can hook up on my own, I know what the coaches expected me in a fencing class, I can take 3 parries pretty well, I can advance, I can retreat, I can lunge. So I can build a basic attack, I can build a basic defense, and I can fence. After that, then we start like that level 4 class and the competitive class, that's where things get more complicated. They get more actions, they get more speed, they get more, we expect the classes to run more smoothly because the kids know what we expect from them. And if they know that and they live up to those expectations, those classes do exactly what they're supposed to do.
How long does it take for somebody to get through level 2 and 3?
It usually takes about 1.5 years per class, but it really depends on the kid. So it can take anywhere from 6 months to 1.5 years in those first 2 classes. It's pretty consistently 1.5 years to get through level 4 and into competitive. And usually they'll spend, that competitive class is basically, that's the top of the top. Those are the guys who are competing nationally regularly. Those are the guys who are helping get recruited to colleges. Those are the guys who they know all the actions. They need to learn. They need to perfect them. So they're in that class generally for 4 years. It usually works out that it's basically you're in Young Blades or level 2 up until, we switched the names on them. So you're in level 2 pretty much like up to age 12, then you're in level 3 from kind of 12 to 13, either that or like young 12 to young 13. Then you're in level 4, kind of 13 to 14, and then once you turn 14, freshman in high school, you're usually in competitive. And if you work through from the bottom with that, it's pretty clockwork within like 6 months margin of error.
And what is the schedule for those classes? So you have 4 levels, right?
5.
Oh, sorry.
4.5, yeah. 4 that actually have to meet the one as the intro.
Right. So what's your schedule so people, potential customers know what to expect?
So the intro class is 1 day a week for however many weeks we decide it's going to be.
How many minutes a class?
An hour and a half for all the classes. Other than one class for competitive on Saturdays, it's 2 hours. We do a tactical lecture each week for 30 minutes. So each class is an hour and a half long. The level 2, 3, 4, and competitive classes all meet 3 days a week. And the schedule is the same, it just is continuous. We're not a semester-based program or some of the clubs that I know that have like a curriculum that they do each 6 months or whatever. We're continuous, we work on what we need to work on. The foil in particular, a lot of it with the competitive classes, staying kind of on that cutting edge of foil. We found over the years that it works really well to basically watch the international level, figure out what they're doing tactically, and then just installing at the club level. And as long as we're mimicking what the best fencers in the world are trying to do, no, we don't need to be as fast and as strong as them with like 12-year-olds. but at least if they're trying to tactically do similar things, then we're on par with these guys who are coaching internationally a lot, who are going to the World Cups, and who are sending that information back to their students as well. I mean, it's all the same. It's just a matter of how we were exposed to it.
Question. Most of your students, do they come because of university, or you just plan for them, or what's the reason why they explain?
It's a mix. We do get a lot of the kids whose parents say, hey, I want to go to an Ivy League school, like, we need a scholarship, this is what we're doing. We also get a lot of kids from, like, whenever like a new Pirates movie comes out, Zorro or whatever, or Star Wars recently has been the one. They haven't done Pirates or any of the other real swashbuckling characters in a while. But we do get a lot of kids who watch movies and like, hey, I want to know how to use a sword, and then they show up. Fencing is fortunately the only sport that really accommodates that. So we get a lot of those kids. And we also just get a lot of kids where their parents are kind of like, hey, we want to do an individual sport. This is an individual sport, let's try it. The last kind of sneaky group we get is we've gotten a lot of hockey kids recently. Yeah, where they've been playing hockey, they get to a certain level, they can start to hit, they can start to fight, and the parents are like, you know what, let's go to something that's a little less. So a little less violent, a little less injury prone, but still with that same physicality if you want it to be.
So you mentioned, so I want to ask you a question. You mentioned earlier that, your program is designed around putting people into competitions, right? So you personally, is there a reason to fence if not to be competitive?
For me, like in my heart of hearts, no.
Okay.
However, I do know that it's there, and I understand recreational fencing. I get it.
Sure.
For me as a person, I compete at everything I do. I mean, you want to walk to a door ahead of me, I'm competing with you to get there first.
No, let me add another layer to the question. Okay. So that's just a broad question for everybody that's ever walked through any fencing club before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The next part of this question is, does your mind change if we're talking about somebody who's young coming up, or somebody who's already an adult or veteran or over 25, let's say?
So our adults we treat completely differently.
Okay.
They're their own system. With the adults, it's truly whatever they want to do.
Right.
And we're not, and even with the kids, like if they choose that they're not going to compete, okay, fine. And what we do is we make sure that they still have the information to kind of stay on track if they need to. But again, it is a very personal decision. And so yeah, like with the adults, for the most part, it's mostly recreation.
Sure.
Like they're going to come in, they want to work out, they end up meeting the community here, and they say, hey, we like being around these people. Yeah, we're going to show up and hang out with them. Fortunately, at the moment, we have an adult class that's been around for quite some time. I mean, fencers have been fencing 3-4 years. We keep joking around with one of my, I think he's 50-plus-year-olds at this point. He's going to debut in Division I at like 55. He's like C- if we're talking fencing grades.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's probably going to earn a C sometime. And I want to see him in one Division I just to say he did it. Like, just guys. I mean, if you earn the right to do it, go see it. I mean, yeah, you can get your butt kicked. But it's like, come on. You get to fence with the big show. There's a lot of fun just showing up and being like, hey, I was on the same piece of paper as Derek Meinhardt and Nick Aitken and Alexander Masialis, depending on who shows up on the men's side, or Lee Kiefer and Kaki on the women's side.
So this must be a full fence you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's all full fence.
Yeah,
it's all full fence you're talking
about.
about.
I was rolling foil fencers. Yeah, so it really is a mix. And if the adults want, like if they want to fence in the competitive class, we don't stop them from doing it.
Yeah.
They're more than welcome to do that and get that same training that the teenagers are who are trying to really be competitive.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, can we take a moment and show these really cool systems that I've never seen before? Oh, yeah.
So, this location was opened 2025, right?
Yes.
So, you said you have about 120 students?
Yeah.
So they moved with you here, or you built them from scratch at this location?
No, they moved with us.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the same club that's been open for 20 years. These are the same people for the most part.
So was there like a new people who joined?
Yeah. So we've only really done a couple of intro classes at this location. we were worried about just kind of getting moved and getting a place set up. So we haven't been running our full like intro classes, but we've still had, we had one, I think we ran one intro class right after we moved. And we got new people and on both the kids and we run the adult intro separately. There's no need to run them together.
A couple of questions. They're like, because due to the conversation, I have a question here, question there. So you mentioned that you're also competing, right?
Yes.
Personally, still competing.
Yes.
Okay, and maybe give some suggestion, like advice for people, like I would say adult, right? That's correct way to describe it. To improve yourself, to keep yourself in shape, in fencing specifically.
My secret had been just kind of cutting out time to be athletic in general. I mean, I always have been, and I fenced in college, and I've been fencing obviously since I was 7. So it kind of has felt weird not to fence as much as I have in the past. A lot of it with the adults is realizing that there is a big difference between a junior fencer and a true adult who is fencing. And there's, like, the juniors are fast and the juniors are fit, but there's a lot of maturity differences and a lot of mental differences between the fencers who are 18, 19 years old and the fencers who are 30. And there's a reason we don't tend to see a lot of those 18-year-olds like winning Olympic medals. Like, yeah, they win at the Olympics, but they're not, like, if you look at I think it was Damien Lefelt, who's the fencing coach, who did his study on, okay, how old are the Olympic champions? And they all average in all 3 weapons, it was like early 30s. And I think the reason for that is that you do gain a lot of that ability to kind of figure out, okay, I don't need to go and outspeed this guy. Like, I need to put my timing in the right place. And I need to put my feet in the right place at the right time. And if I pick the right action, that will work better than me just trying to go faster than these kids. And so a lot of it, even if you aren't as fast as, say, an 18-year-old, or even if you're not able to train 5-6 days a week and lift and go for bike rides and keep the cardio up, you can still fence, and you can still fence at a high level. And a lot of fencers, at least the ones that I've known, a lot of us are very, it's like, we like it when we're good, we don't like it when we're not good. And when you hit that, like, okay, I gotta go to work part of adulthood, it's kind of like, okay, it's like you're gonna be good, but you're gonna be good differently. And you've gotta make that switch from being like, yeah, okay, I'm fast, I'm strong, I can beat you, to, okay, I'm smart, and I'm still fast enough, and I'm still strong enough, and I can still beat you. And that's a hard switch. Like, that's the switch that I think was really critical for me to find over the last few years.
You just can compensate your physical ability to be faster, stronger. No, stronger, maybe not faster, with your tactical skills.
Yeah. Yeah, and tactical knowledge and even knowledge of the rules. I mean, I had a kid who fleshed off the side of the strip in the warning line at the last night. And you do that, the other guy wins. Sorry. You gotta know what all the rules are and how they apply.
And last question I have. So as a coach and as a business owner too, what are your vision of the academy? And also how do you see yourself in maybe 5 years, in the further future, yourself as a coach and also academy itself?
So my vision, kind of my short-term vision is I would like to bring in more students. We need to fill the space. And now that we have the extra space, we can fill it. We were limited by our old facility just in size. So that my first goal is to do that and then to really build kind of our traveling competitive cadre up. We're at the point where, like, yeah, we're sending 5-6 kids per NAC to a NAC. I would like that to be 15 to 20 over the course of all of that. And so from that, it's developing our assistant coaches to the point where they can travel and they can be effective coaches. It's changing, and it's getting the mentality of everybody in the building kind of to this point of like, okay, this is what we do. This is how we do it. We're here to build kind of that mentality, that level of fencer. So that's kind of the short term goal. Long term, I keep telling everybody that I'm going to retire personally from competing, and then I keep getting results. So I still show up at the NACs, I still beat the kids. For the most part, I'm still, and guys are still worried to fence me, even if I'm not like making beats every single time or anything. So it's still, I mean, I don't know.
You're close on, do you fence with your students?
Oh yeah. No, I train with our competitive group. I don't usually, usually I'll run the class and then with the fencing portion I'll suit up and fence. That's really my only fencing training at the moment. I mean, I haven't taken a lesson in 6 years at this point. I haven't done a footwork session.
Also, what do you suggest for your students? Do you suggest them to come to regular class and take private lessons, like 1-on-1 lesson sessions? How often, if yes? How many minutes per session?
So we do 15-minute lessons. For our guys who are competing, yes, absolutely they should. Do I get that? 50-50. I would prefer, I think 2 lessons a week. 2 to 3 lessons a week is kind of a sweet spot. I think any more than that is just kind of a waste. I mean, you're already kind of on that edge of how good somebody's going to be at that point. So yeah, we 100% come to regular classes. 80%, yeah, take private lessons. Obviously, depending on finances and depending on time. Some of these kids are doing 6, 7 activities. They're not going to be able to come in for an extra lesson. So for the most part, it's okay, yeah, come to class, do a couple of private lessons, do as many competitions as you can get your hands on without breaking your neck. So we're not going to fly to California every week. A few kids just came down to Texas for the SYC that was down there. Yeah, okay, go do that. But don't be traveling every single weekend. I mean, we have enough locals here that we can work with. The other thing locally is we need more clubs who kind of have that same mentality that they're going to build competitors and they're going to bring people to competition.
By the way, how many clubs in the area?
There's 5.
5 clubs?
There's one club that runs all 3 weapons, not very competitively. There's one club that is very competitive, but only in saber. They do a little bit of FA. There's one FA club that is very competitive. They literally had a wall of size 20 font of people who had made the world team as of 15 years ago. I think the coach painted over the wall. He didn't. But he, a really, really good FA club. We've got the club that Matt and I started at that isn't really very active anymore. And then there's one in Colorado Springs that also does that.
So you guys are not too far from the home office, right?
Yeah.
This fencing. Has it been good or bad, or has it affected you guys in any way?
It really hasn't. I would love for Phil to come visit. That's kind of a running joke at this point that he lives only a few minutes from here and has never been in. So we're trying to work on that. But no. I chat with them, but it's nothing different than anybody else can do. If you just know these guys' emails and email them. Maybe I get a 0.2% more responsive rate from them, but I wouldn't know.
They just know that it's something you can just drive there.
Yeah.
Most of them work remotely.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I don't have any questions.
I don't either. That was great. Can we show off your club?
Of course.
Okay.
Before we show the club,
Oh.
Jeff, tell a little bit your address and how to contact you.
So we are at 7245, I have to memorize the new address, South Havana, Unit 500 in Centennial, Colorado, 80112 now. Email or the website is best to contact us, or southdenverfencing.com, exactly the way you think it's spelled, nothing crazy.
Okay, thank you, Jeff, for hosting us, and now we'll show your facilities so potential fencers.
So let's give some lockers there, equipment there, or maybe fencers' own little personal storage bins, it looks like. Club equipment's in the corner, a nice little courtyard out here. Here's your 6 strips, and they're inlaid in a wooden floor. And see, there's your reels. But these boxes, show us what these boxes. These are really, you have motion sensing lights, which is really cool. One just went on right now. But yeah.
Yeah, let's get the lights up, let's get the boxes going.
So this is by a company called Skewered Fencing. It's here in town, in Denver, right?
Yeah, so we've got a guy locally, he works for a tech company, I think, during the day, and he has been designing these boxes for the last 2 years. The company is called Skewered Fencing. little bit as a running joke because he didn't think it would quite go this far. But no, he's done a masterful job building these boxes. They have a whole slew of features. We've got the score, the time, the non-combativity clock is on the
Is this one right?
on the machine. Yep. The other feature that we really like is if you double add a point after a touch, the arrow turns red on you, so we can't mess up the way they are at the international level right now with double scoring and whatnot on replays. It'll tell you it's resetting there because it thinks it's on foil, so it keeps resetting. This whole system includes the boxes, the repeaters on the wall over there that also have full score, time, non-combativity, whole 9 yards.
Well, they repeat over there too, right?
Yes. They, would you mind hitting the other box there? Yeah, so we've got repeaters at both ends of the strips. There we go. On all 6 strips. We are working on adding new features to these. I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to share, but other of the common things we're using in the finals at the national level will be fully integrated in with these systems.
Videos?
Oh yeah, video replay being one of them. It's going to be a fully integrated closed system though, so we figured out how to take a computer out of the video replay process, which is incredible, as well as the camera boom is also now obsolete with these guys.
Okay.
So we'll have, I don't know how many video replay strips we're going to work with, probably just 2 because I don't want video replay during classes because as you can imagine that will slow down everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a fantastic system. I don't know Augusto's contact info, unfortunately, but if you Google skewered fencing, everything should come up.
It's like the first thing I'm going to do when I leave here.
Oh, like absolutely. This system is less expensive than the Favero system. It works better than the Favero system. It takes all of 3 days to get used to the remotes here. If you want to show that to the camera. The remote is super simple. It's just a push or push and hold system, and it can do all the things you would want it to do as a referee. So if you mess up the score, it's easy to reset. If you mess up the time, you can easily add time. When it gets under 10 seconds, you're adding hundredths to it, so you get it exactly to the right spot.
Wow.
I mean, literally everything that you thought of at the national level of like, oh, I wish the referee could do this quicker, we've had put in these systems.
Wow,
so
very cool.
Yeah, I could not be more complimentary of the work he's done. It's incredible.
Yeah. All right, well, I think that's it. So thank you.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. And yeah, hopefully see you around at some NACs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Matt will be at the next one, and then I'm on for March. Or no, February, because they moved it on us.
Okay.
So Matt's doing January, March, and I'm doing February.
Sounds good. All right, thank you.